Hi, my name is Tyler Price. Welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to give you a brief or not so brief tour of my Notions page and show you how I manage my home and my life in Notion. So if that's something that you're interested in, come along and join the fun. So the page that you're looking right now is my main hub, and this is pretty much what I consider as my home page. This is where all the fun and all the action happens. So I have this week, which when I click on this, it takes me to this week. I have my calendar. I have an area called search. It's for just the project I'm working on. My yearly overview, tasks. And then further down after the calendar section, I have an area that's called quick links. And it just takes you to some of the quick links that I'd like to show. So I have my quick links area, and it has the things that I do daily, my guiding principles, daily reflections, and notes page. And I have my home management area. I have an area called Family Hub, a Future Me area, finances, lifestyles, and list. So, and then I have a picture here that was kind of, I think AI generated this picture, and then also this one as well. And then if you're looking at, this is the year, today's January the 1st that I'm recording this. So we are about 69% kind of done in our day, just because it's about 4:30 Eastern time as I record this. And then I have an area called the Work Hub. So to start, the first thing I want to do is I want to click on my yearly overview. My yearly overview, it's an area that I spent most of my time. This is where you will see my to-do lists, my things that I have going on daily. So what I do is I have something called a weekly plan. And so when I click on the weekly plan, this is a template. I haven't created it yet for today. But when I click on it, it shows kind of like what my day looks like. Or actually my week, what my week looks like, and then how it looks on a daily basis. So what I can do is I will, just for the purpose of this video, and since today's the 1st, it's my templates go from Monday to Sunday. So what I would need to do is duplicate this page. Computer is slow today. And once the page is duplicated, what I would do is write today's date. So today's the 1st, Jan 1 to Jan 7th, and then this has pretty much everything that I have going on. So in terms of daily items, these are the things that I need to do daily. So if I have any kind of tasks for today that I need to do, like today I need to record this video. And I'm sure I have other stuff that I need to do. So that's just pretty much for today. And then, of course, I go through and just kind of make some of the highlights of the top 3 things that I need to do on each day. And so on Monday, when I create this template, or sometimes I create it on Sunday night, I just kind of go through and make a determination in terms of what I need to do. Separately, I also have something called laundry. And what I do is I click on the laundry button, and it just shows like all the laundry that I like to do weekly. Now, it is an aspirational list. I don't always do that many loads of laundry, but just kind of gives me an idea of what I have going on. And then I have something called the weekend. And so these are just the areas, the things that I need to do on the weekend. Some of the tasks that I have to do. So I have my tasks, and what it does is I have my full task list, which I'll share with you all. And this is just a separate database that's linked to, and I have it here. And so I have like a list of things that I need to do. Again, today's the 1st. I haven't really sat down and kind of made a list of all the tasks and things that I would like to get done. So this is just a very minimal list. And then I have like my weekly notes. If I wanted to take a note, I could just write a note and I have my notes database. And then I have something called self-care, and that's just, if I click on this button, it'll give me a list of things that I can work on related to self-care. And then next week, and so every day, the tasks that I don't do on each respective day, and I know that I'm not going to get done that week, I could always just move the task. Like, for example, if I didn't record the video today, what I can do is I could just move the task to next week, and that way when I'm setting up next week's list, I have the list of tasks that I need to accomplish for that week. So that's pretty much what that's what next week is for. What I like about this is that once a task is completed, you just kind of click on it, and it kind of crosses it out. So that's pretty much my daily and weekly items related to my page in terms of like some of the tasks that I need to do. And then there are all these buttons here that takes me to different areas within my Notion. Every week I try to come up with a motivation in terms of what I'm thinking about. I also will write what I'm reading. I'm currently reading, I think it's called The Villa by, I want to say Rachel Hawkins. I think that's her name. I'm not sure. I just started it this morning. I like to, I know this sounds crazy and silly, and you guys can laugh at me if you like, but I like to know what purse I'm carrying. It's just my thing. I have all these purse that I purchased from this company. And so as a frugal person, I don't want to be buying things just to be buying them. So I like to kind of have a detailed amount, a list of the purse that I'm carrying. So this week I'm carrying my crossbody plum purse. And then, so I have that. And motivation would be just words of inspiration. I usually go online and find something, or I may use something from the Bible. Since it's the first week of the year, I think I'll just use my favorite, which is Jeremiah 29:11, which is for I know the plans. And then up here, I have buttons, and these buttons take you to different places within my Notions page. So if I click on the home button, it'll take me to my Life Hub. And that's kind of like the main page. If I click on books, it takes me to my books database. And my books database does not have all my books. I need to update this. It has probably 103 books right now. I don't have a ton of the books that I've read in the last few months, so I need to update this. I think it has maybe up until sometime last summer, so this really hasn't been updated. I've been using Bookmurray, I think that's what's called, the app for my books, but I definitely need to update my books database within Notion. And so the cool thing about the books database, and I can do a full kind of video just on how I organize my books. So that's pretty much the books database in a nutshell. Let's try to get out of here and back to that page. I'm just using the back button right now, but I do have other buttons that I don't need to use the back button. And then what I have here is my budget. So if I click here, it takes you to my budget. Now I can do a video on how I manage my budget. I do have a budget template. I have not set it up yet for January because again, today's the 1st. But this is pretty much my budget template. And when I'm ready to create a January budget, what I do is I take this, I just duplicate it. And on the template, I type in January, if I could spell. And so that'll be my January budget. And so, and that's pretty much how I manage my budget within Notion. And so let me go back to, actually, I need to go back. Now, when I click on this week is supposed to take me to my current template, but it's not. What it's doing is it's taking me to my template from December. So every week, what I would need to do is I would need to go to my button right here under this week and change the template that I'm using. So now I need to change it to the current week, which is weekly plan. So I have to do this every week. And so when I click on this week, it takes me to my weekly plan. Now, the buttons are not synced, so I would need to go and do that elsewhere. So for example, when I go to the budget page right here, I would need to change that as well to so it's just one of those things that I need to do often, which I don't mind doing it just because overall I do like being able to just kind of click to this week and getting back to where I need to. So on a weekly basis, there are a couple of areas where I need to change the this week button so that it could take me to where I need to. But other than that, all the other buttons are pretty much there and they don't need to be changed. And I've really used a lot of buttons on my Notions just to make it easier. I have the free version of Notion. I think if you have the premium, you probably have more functionality, but the free one kind of does what I need it to do. So I've talked about home button, or in some pages you see this called Life Hub. Books, budget, meals. And so this is a meals page, and all this is just I'm trying to kind of make a list of the things that my kids eat, that I cook. And it's not a comprehensive list, it's just kind of a start. And one of my goals for this year is I'd like to make more meals than my kids would eat. So I'm just making a list of the things that I cook on a regular basis. So, and then here, I think I'm probably going to add a button to take me back to my other page. So let me go back to this week. So, and then I have my task database. And what this is it just has a list of the tasks. And this is a running list. I have pending task. I have the table. I need to kind of, so pretty much all of these are kind of pending. And then I have my status. And this is just a database within my page where I have a list of the tasks, some of the things that I need to work on. Again, it's the first day of the year. So I still need to, I need to have a more comprehensive list. Right now, it's not a lot. And then this is my chores database, and it just has a lot of, I found this somewhere. I did not create this. I found this somewhere. I'm not really sure where, to be honest with you. And it just has a list of things that needs to be done, and the frequency of it. And so I do like it because it's just, especially if you're into zone cleaning with Fly Lady. This is kind of a perfect zone, a Fly Lady template. And I would like to get more into Fly Lady cleaning style for this year. So I'll be using this a lot more, and I may bring you guys along and kind of show you how I use this. But it's just a great chores template that I found, honestly, somewhere. Again, most of this I didn't create on my own. It's just some of it I did, like the buttons I added. But this is just a hodgepodge of a lot of different templates that I found on the Notion's kind of free template, and then I just modified it and made it a bit of my own. So then I have things to do daily, and this is just a list of things that I like to do daily that keeps my house tidy. And I love this quote that says, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." So it is important to kind of do certain things every day to get your house kind of organized. So for me, again, aspirationally, right, this is almost that. I'd like to maybe do it 80% of the time, so it's not 100%. But, like in the kitchen, I definitely need to wash dishes several times a day. Now I use my dishwasher a little bit more, so I probably need to modify that a bit. Attempt to sweep and mop the floor, spend 5 minutes tidying, remove old stuff from the fridge. Just things, again, that we know we need to do daily, and it's just something that we really need to. And right here, I have kind of reading with my children. So I have two boys, Gabriel and James. And I'd like for them to read more. And I read something on Facebook earlier that said, if you read 20 pages a day, that equals, I think, 30 books a year. So I'm creating a Google Sheets for the both of them, and they have to read 30 pages a day, and they need to log their 30 pages a day. So, and then also we have a parent portal that I check daily, and then in my house we do what you call a homework hour, where for 1 hour a day we're sitting down, everybody at the table, we're doing homework. And so these are just the things that I like to do, just to remind myself of things that I do daily, just to remind myself things to keep my home tidy. Okay. So let me go back to my page under this week, and this actually needs to be up here. Okay. So, and then the last one is the calendar, and so for the calendar, it just has some things. I use Google Calendar mostly for my personal stuff, as well as I have a physical planner. But there are sometimes some things that I'll add here under the calendar. So I have that, but really I use Google Calendar. There is a way that I can connect my Google Calendar to my Notion, and I thought about it. I haven't done it yet. I really like to go into Google Calendar, and I'm in Google most of the time anyway. So right now I'm keeping them separate. And also I have a lot of stuff on my Google Calendar that if I were to add to this, it'll overwhelm the page. And I like the minimalist aesthetic that my Notion has. So let's see. So let's go back to this week. I want to spend a little more time there. So I've talked about kind of how I use the page. Now, once the week is done, what I do is all of my this week is stored in my yearly overview. So my yearly overview has a few things. It has my quarterly goals. And so my goals for the quarter is I like to lose 20 pounds for the quarter. I'd like to read 20 books per quarter. My goal is to read 80 books a year. I think that's a little ambitious. However, it is important to try my best in terms of really trying to determine if it's something that's doable or not. But for the most part, I think that 80 books for the year could be doable. So typically, once the week is done, what I do is I take my weekly plan and just move it and put it right here. And then I start, use the template, duplicate the template to start a new week. And so that's pretty much what I do. And then, of course, I have it for all of the months. And that's just how I store my my templates. And then on the yearly overview, I also have a database here that's like my task database. And so that's where I add new tasks. And that's the task database. It's also reflected right here in this week. So I get to only see this week of the task, or I can see the entire table. So yeah, it looks like there's multiple things on the page. It looks like there's multiple things on the page in terms of this is the pretty much where the task database is, but then I have it here. But for me, it's just easier that way to have that information there, especially if I need to see my task just for the week. And so right now, this is the only task that I have for this week. And if I click on the table, it shows me everything else. Everything else that I have is due. Or the due date, the days that I plan to do the work, not necessarily the deadline. So I do have the day that I want to do the work and then the deadline. And I know what I find that's really helpful because sometimes I may create the due date as the deadline and it doesn't always get done. So my due date is always different from the deadline. It's just something that works for me. So that's pretty much how I manage kind of my tasks in Notion. I'm going to go back to my Life Hub and kind of share a few more items on the Life Hub with you all. The task list that I was showing earlier is also here. So it's also on the Life Hub. So then I have a few quick links in the Life Hub. So I have the things that I do daily, which I've shown you all. Then I have something called my guiding principles. And these are just the things that are important to me that I think about daily or often, maybe not always daily. And that's integrity, respect, accountability, empathy, growth, service, balance, positive attitude, creativity, confidence. Again, so there's just something that are important to me. They're my guiding principles in terms of, the things that are important to me as a person. And then I have daily reflections, and this is just my daily reflections database. I have moved all of my daily reflections. I have the ones from like last year. I didn't do that many, I'll be honest with y'all. I did initially and then kind of didn't do as much. But I do have a daily reflections database here. And what I do is when I'm ready, I create a new template and it just talks about, and it has a few things like I could talk about how I'm feeling, the date, various different things, like if there's any successes that I want to remember, and then if I wanted to kind of write some sort of journal there. And then, of course, it's saved by date. So that's my daily reflection section. And then I have a notes page, and that's just when I need to take notes. Sometimes I read articles and I need to take notes on them. So these are some of the ones that I wrote, that I read in 20, or even I may sit through some webinars that I find interesting and want to and pretty much take notes on them. So so this is my notes database that I use often. And then I have a home management section, and I just have like home projects, major purchases, home maintenance, and home services. And the home services just has a list of all of our bills and account number and the frequency of how those are paid. And the home maintenance is just any work that we've done, and the major purchases are just that. Just for confidentiality reasons, I won't share this, but if you're interested in the template or something similar, just put a comment below and I can share the template with you. It's just a very simple database that I created. And then meal planning and recipes. I think I showed this earlier. Yeah, it's the same thing that I showed earlier. And you will find a lot of these pages are also linked and embedded throughout the Notions page. Let's see, chores. I showed that as well. And then Gabriel, that's one of my sons. That's just his. I have a folder for his information, and then James is another. And then I also have something for our dog, our dog. And so anytime he has like when he's boarded, or if he has when he gets his physical, or when we have anything that's due in terms of his health related information. So that's saved there. And then future me is just me, self-care. I'm still working through the self-care. This is just some of the stuff that I want to add in terms of like things that I want to do to take care of myself. I still need to update this. This still has 2023 information. But just, am I getting my hair done? Am I doing my nails, hanging out with friends, going to the park, working out? Just what are some of the things that I'm doing for self-care? I want to track that. And so that's what that page is for. And my dog heard his name, so he's kind of hanging out right beside me. Max, no, I'm busy. Okay, and then going right along, this has my favorite quote, which is, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." So that is definitely resonates with me and is very relevant to where I am right now. So even the name of my page is called "For I Know the Plans," because there are plans for us. And then under finances, I have a few things. I have a low spend. So we are doing a low spend, and then some of our low spend rules. I will do a video just on low spend and how I'm planning to do low spends. And in addition to, and this just kind of has our guiding principles around low spend. Also, I have a database of no spend. Oops, because sometimes life happens. So some of the things I'm not buying this year: stationery, books, clothes, cleaning supplies. If you know, you know. And I'm not buying any more purses unless this says midnight is released. There is a color of a purse that I want, or Lagoon. If you guys are familiar with Portland leather goods, you know what I'm talking about. And then no beauty or hair supplies. Kind of use what I have. Only if I have like job interview and I need to purchase new hair. So it's just long story. If you know, you know. So there's just some things that I'm still working on related to our low spend, no spend. And then here with soaps, there is a soap place that I love more than I should, and so I want to use up what I have. So definitely we're working on a low spend. For the first quarter, a lot of no spend, but then eventually it goes into a low spend. So these are just some of the guiding principles. But I will do a video on that at some point in the next couple of weeks once I have everything kind of finalized. Because we usually don't start our no spend till maybe the second week in January, just because this week the kids are going back to school and there's just so much going on right now. And then about money is just that. It's just I have like some of my credit cards and payments and just a simple budget. So that's pretty much what about money is. And then the 2024 budget, you guys have seen this page. It's linked somewhere else. It's linked all over. And then let's see, lifestyle. I have my 2024 goals. I have my books database, which I think I showed it. Yeah, I showed it. My vision board is not finalized yet. I'm still kind of working through it. Once I finalize it, I'll share it. And then my notebooks, that's also linked somewhere else here. And then lastly, I have an area called lists. So I have wish lists in terms of things that I would like to purchase. I don't have anything right now listed, but typically I do. If there's something that I want to purchase, I add it, especially now with doing a no spend or a low spend. If there's something that I want, I'll kind of add it. And then eventually when the time is right or when it's appropriate, I will purchase it. So I did that the same thing last year. I had a whole bunch of things that I wanted to purchase and just kind of had it on my wish list. Just because I want something doesn't mean I need it or want it now, but I know that I want it at some point. So it's good to plan for certain things. And then this is my watch list, and it hasn't really been updated from last year. I do have some shows that I have, or movies that I wanted to watch, and I haven't completely watched. Like I've started Ted Lasso. I haven't seen all of it. Queen Charlotte I completed. Yeah, so I do have a few things that are not started. I started watching this today. I need to finish watching it. So yeah, this and so these are just not comprehensive but close enough. I do need to update this a little bit more, and I'll do that. So this is just my TV watch list. I read a lot lately. I've been reading a lot lately, so I'm not watching TV like I used to. So I need to kind of have a good balance. And then I have something called Go Local, and that's just I live in the the Atlanta area, and there's a lot of local places that I like to visit. So I haven't really made a list yet. I haven't updated it from last year, but definitely kind of going through the 2024 places that we'd like to visit that are local to us and kind of like, or even day trips. So that's what that is. And then travel, I have no travel plans yet as of yet. I do have a couple, but I need to update this and I'll do that. And then I was saying that, the bag that I spent way too much money on. So I'm just kind of going through the bags and maybe even selling some of them or giving some away. So I have actually given a few of these away. So yeah, and that's just what that is. So this may not have a prominent place on my Notions page like it did last year because it's just not as prominent to me and as important to me as it was last year. And then the hard things. These are just I sometimes do something called the hard things, doing the hard things. So I make a list of difficult things, so things that I need to do, and just spend the day doing it. So the last time I did a hard thing was in December, where it's just some things that I wanted to do and really haven't felt like doing them. I'm trying to see if this will open. Things that I wanted to do, but I really haven't felt like doing them. So I just make a list of stuff, and I have this. So these are some of the things that when I was doing the hard things that it's just the whole purpose of a hard thing day is you make a list of things that you need to work on that you just haven't gotten around to, and just kind of grind that day. And all you're doing is just knocking those things out. So it's like focus work. There was a person, her name is Diana Marie. She did something similar on her YouTube page, and I just thought it was amazing that you just make a list of the things that you've been thinking about that you just haven't gotten around to, and they're critical, but not urgent. But really need to be done. So you make a list of those things and just kind of grind and knock them out. And so that's pretty much what the hard thing day is. So I do. I've done 2 so far, and I'll probably do 1 this week just because I have some things I need to knock out. But it's also a good way to just kind of grind and get things done. So besides that, the only other thing that I really want to show my Notion page is I do have this artwork that I think daily on one of those AI generated it that I absolutely love. And then I think I shared this earlier in terms of like this widget. And then of course I have something called Work Overview. Hub. The last is I have an area called Archive, and it's just it's just where I keep certain pages that they're no longer relevant. So in the archive, let me go back. I want to share something with you guys. Like remember, I have my weekly pages, which from all of so these are my weekly pages from 2023 in no particular order. It should be in order, but it's not. But so these are my weekly plan pages, which from last year, and so they're now in archive. I could reference them if I need them. And then I have another archive called Personal Archive, and that's just some pages that I delete. That I need to go back to at some point. Like I have a summer schedule, so I usually organize and plan my kids' summer like week by week. And I start that early. So you will see if I do another Notions tour or even an updated tour, you will find that I have on the list. I will have like a summer list because we need to start planning them now. To make sure that we get into all the camps and everything else. So it's important to plan the summer. So I usually have our summer organized per week in terms of like we know what we're doing each week of the summer, including vacation. And that's usually done by like February. So this will be on my page sooner rather than later, on this Notions page. So again, this is how I organize my Notion. This is my page. Aesthetically, this works for me. I know there's a lot of people that do minimalist Notions page, and if that works for them, that's fine. I like color. I like, and I utilize the button feature a lot just because it just makes things easier, and so I enjoy it. I enjoy using the buttons, and so it just makes things a lot. It's easier to just go from page to page, and I absolutely love the this week button because I just love to be able to just go and then oh yeah, I didn't show this. I forgot to show this on my daily page. I do have something called a daily button that has like all the things that I want to do daily, and that's part of kind of like my things to do daily. I have it here on the button. where it just kind of shows, did I tidy for 5 minutes? Did I remove something old from the fridge? Did I spend 3 minutes in the downstairs bathroom? Did I clean one of the upstairs bathrooms? Did I tidy the family room? Did I spend 10 minutes in the gym? The 10 minutes in the garage, again, is aspirational. Did I spend 5 minutes on mail? That's also aspirational. Again, all of these are not things that I definitely must do, but they're things that I like to do. So when I do them, I do check them off. Today's the first. I haven't done anything. I definitely didn't do laundry because you're not supposed to wash clothes on New Year's Day. I didn't sweep because you're not supposed to sweep on New Year's Day. So I haven't really done much other than hang out and eat. Uh, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me go back to my Life Hub. That's pretty much it. This is my Notions page. This is how I organize and manage my life in Notion. If you have any questions, if you would like, again, this template is just a combination of a lot of different templates that I found. Yeah. So, and if I can find the originals, I will send it to you guys because I think that these are really, really good. And or at least I'll send you to direct you to where you could get them. But overall, most of this I found on the free template site through Notion, and then also I found this just kind of doing some searches or watching some YouTube channels. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and have a good rest of your day.